Hey, Casual Citizens, welcome back. I'm Matt,
I'm Dan.
and I think I figured out where to go. In this episode, we're going to get even more serious. So, climate change because of tribbles. I think we have to address it. They keep multiplying, and they're just that at night, it's not that the sun's going around the Earth. It's the tribbles, man. They're just nonstop. They fill up the ozone, and it's a problem, and we need to figure out what to do.
Yes, the tribbles are apparently they're flying tribbles as well.
Flying, yes. They evolved to have wings. the tribbles are flying.
Thank you. I'm just imagining some of the Star Trek episodes just changing with like little balls of fur floating around in the background.
Right? There apparently was an episode where a girl basically
I don't even
got...
know what you're attacking.
There was some kind of womp rat thing that came out of this wall. There was an episode of Star Trek recently. Like, they do shorts now, where it's just like 15 minute episodes or whatever. And apparently, it looks like from the trailer, one woman gets straight up murdered by tribbles. Like, there's so many of them that she cannot deal with it, and they just kill her from the weight of the amount of tribbles.
Oh my
I
gosh.
forgot there's a map!
I'm guessing it's a red shirt.
I don't remember. Oh, that's breaky. That's breakable. How do I get there? I go back in. I go back in.
I was recently thinking about this. I saw a post the other day. It was from one of my good friends, and they posted, if you could have the ability to do one thing, like suddenly gain the ability to do that, you know, like be a good cook or I don't know, just something like that with careers, what would you do?
I know mine.
Dude, that got me thinking. I just sat there and thought about that all day. And I wish I had the ability to... I just wish I had, like, instant charisma. Because I'm fine online. I can talk to people on the phone. Like, I went... For the job I have now, I just did a phone interview. For the placement. Like, I did interviews in person, but, like, for the location, I ended up just doing a phone interview. And I'm great on phone. I'm great. Like, I sound good and everything. But you put me in front of somebody, and I'm like the most awkward person ever. I won't make eye contact with you. Like, and of course I've improved in the last year or whatever. But I think that was like the one thing I'd want, the charisma, the instant charisma boost. Like, it's like I can't sing in front of other people. I can't. I don't know. It's not like a confidence thing.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
I
like,
get you, dude.
I don't know. I think that would be my thing.
So, for me, I'm actually, because of this channel, because I'm a Sunday school teacher, I've gotten better about public speaking. And just speaking in front of groups, and as someone who's trying to be a manager, it's kind of important to do. So I found that for myself has helped. Like, I had to do a meeting with everyone at work. We're going over new policies, and I was able to pretty much explain it. And I'm like, I felt a little nervous, but I know I did pretty well, considering.
Right.
But myself, as far as that question, I wish that I was good at props. So, like, that I could figure out how to plan properly, how to machine stuff with the lathe.
You know what? That's not freaking fair.
What?
You're good at props. You just don't have all the tools for it.
Well, see, that's the thing.
I call BS on that, because your freaking proton pack is nice. You did weathering on a Han Solo pistol.
No, that's the thing, though. The proton pack plans already existed. I just had to take those plans and execute them.
So you're saying be able to create your own plan. Okay.
You create my own props, and so the tools thing, certainly to an extent, is important. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna Assassin's Creed this guy. So
I feel like you should stab the lightsaber into him. I feel like it's not as satisfying when you fall and just swing your lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, hold on. So, like with art, for example, a great photographer will be able to take a great photograph, regardless if it's a nicest DSLR on the market or if it's a point and shoot camera. Now, granted, the quality might be different, but the essence of the photograph, what's being taken, what's being done, is because of the photographer. So, for me, when I say that, be better at making props, like basically having the knowledge and experience to know how to properly use the tools in the best and most efficient way possible. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Oh,
I see it.
Well, this is fun.
I don't know. I still call BS on that because you're pretty good. No matter what, I think it's just a tool thing for you.
Okay, well, you know what? I appreciate it.
I would say the same thing for myself because definitely money is a limitation to the props that I want to make and the tools that I have.
Right.
You know, so I don't know.
I don't know where BB.
I think you're pretty good at props.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I try. I'm a fan of the lightsaber I made, but you know I can't talk about it. Never mind. It's not the way.
What, you can't talk about your lightsaber?
What's that?
You can't talk about your lightsaber?
It's not about my lightsaber. It's about other lightsabers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
What you're saying.
What is this?
Beep boop beep.
The Scomplink.
Right, I think I could replace yours with this.
Finally.
Let's get you fixed up.
Now I can actually open other containers that I wasn't able to before.
Oh.
How's that?
But yeah, I really like that. I'm trying to think of what else besides prop making.
So, you know what's really weird about me is that I could get onto a stage and give a speech or a presentation. No hesitation whatsoever. But if it's in front of a single person or like a group of 5 to 10 people, I can't do it.
Huh.
But if I'm in an interview with 2 people or 3 people, it's fine. But as soon as it gets over like 4, if it's 1 or 4 to 10, I can't do it.
No kidding.
But you get me in front of a large group of people, and I can give a freaking presentation, man.
That's kind of funny.
I don't know why.
I think if I had to guess, is because with 1 to 2 people or 1 to 3 people, for example, there's a level of polite. Oh my. There's a level of politeness that has to occur, right? So people aren't going to necessarily like say, "Hey, you suck." XYZ. You know,
right.
But when there's that 4 to 10, if one person speaks up against the one person, it's like, okay, that could avalanche, and that could be a problem. But when you got a ton of people, the chances of one person calling out in the crowd and being like, "Hey, you suck," you know, during a presentation is less likely.
It's a very good point.
That's my guess anyway.
I've always had a problem with eye contact.
Oh yeah,
like
I get that too.
If I'm sitting next to somebody and I don't have to make eye contact with you, I could have a full-fledged conversation for hours upon hours. Like when I'm sitting next to you recording, I can just talk.
Yeah, we don't really look at each other.
If you and I were to sit directly across from each other and make eye contact, I could not do it.
Huh.
And I'm not sure. But
Interesting.
So I was having, and I think I've done a lot better in this recently because my boss called me out on it.
Did he really?
And it was, oh my gosh, he's one of those. He's a great boss. I just love his work antics and everything. But he gave me a review. He's like, "Oh, let's go sit down. Let's go, have a review." He gives quarterly reviews.
Oh, okay.
So we were sitting down, and he was like, "Oh, you're doing great. Just keep up the good work." And he's just like, "The one thing I gotta mention is like, why don't you make eye contact? Like, make administrative eye contact. Look at me when I talk to you." I was like, "Oh, okay." And at that point, he called me out on it, and it just made it so much worse. I was like,
Oh, no kidding.
I can't, like, I don't know where to look now. I think my issue is I think about it way too much when it comes to one-on-one conversations. Because I don't want to seem too creepy and just keep staring, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just like one of my biggest
based on
weird
your
things.
sister.
Which
my
sister?
My wife.
Okay. I have 3. You and Maddie do the same thing. Your sister said this today. It's like, yeah. Which one?
Well, for you, for me, I'd say there's one that's more probable than the other. But you know, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
So part of me says that you guys were taught a level of respect. So in Eastern culture, it's disrespectful to look someone in the eye, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's in part is just a subconscious thing on your behalf, is that you're respecting the other person, especially as an authority figure like your boss, and you don't look them in the eye because of that. And it makes you nervous.
I agree, because my mom, her parents were very strict, and her grandparents, she lived with her grandparents, well, her grandfather, and he was extremely strict. So my mom is amazing, but she was strict growing up.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I think that could be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, because I do the same thing, and for me, it's partly respect, it's partly lack of confidence, it's partly a mix of all kinds of things.
Right.
I really am lost. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know where I'm going. Hold on.
Just look at the map. Follow your nose.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow.
See the thing in the top right corner?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're supposed to go back to your ship, right?
Great. So that's all the way down at the bottom. So I gotta get back there. Oh,
wonderful.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What's this?
So in school, I used to give presentations. You know, sometimes you'd have to get up and give presentations, right?
Right.
I never had a problem with that. And we used to have competitions in school. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you'd vote on who had the best presentation or whose presentation you liked the most and what you liked about it. And I always won. Always.
No kidding.
I gave a presentation as Billy Mays. I've told this story before, but I pretended to be Billy Mays. And I screamed the entire presentation. And it worked. And people loved it.
That's awesome, dude.
But as soon as I don't know. It's just weird. I guess it's just because I like being able to switch between people. Because at that point, you know, you have a level of, you don't have to worry about looking at one person. You can look at the first person, make a couple comments, and then look at the second person, make a couple comments, and then move on. Like, you just go back and forth. You know, as opposed to look at one person and like know when to look away and when to stop, you know, making eye contact. I don't know. I got see. That's my thing. I think about it too much.
Huh? Yeah, I'd say so. I think in part. Sorry. Like I said, I talked to Dan in the one episode. I'm like, I'm sorry if I space out, but I'm trying to half figure out where I'm going and half make sure I pay attention to where I'm going.
This would be me in real life, though.
Oh,
like,
that's
I wouldn't know where to go. If I was in this situation, I'd be like,
just gonna go over here. I think a part of it too, when you're doing a presentation, you and I, which is really funny, are performers in a sense. Like Brittany and I, when we get to, if we're with family or we're like hanging out with friends, we actually like play off of each other really well. It's one of the things that we sync up really well is just kind of acting out. But not like over the top or rude or anything. Just having fun.
You just play off of each other.
Yeah.
Because you're extremely comfortable with each other and you know.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that poor droid.
I know. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just trying to kill these guys.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I totally understand that. that's a nice thing to have with somebody,
Yeah, so
or even like a good friend, or
yeah. And so that in part plays with it, and I think that for you is doing a presentation, you're acting. It's not
right.
You're not, granted, now going and trying to be pesky or anything. You're just you're just being you. But screaming as Billy Mays the whole time, it kind of gives you an out if you mess up, So it's like not that that's what you're trying to do, but
I was promoting instead of the Easy Bake Oven, it was the Easy Steak Oven.
Easy Steak Oven. I'm interested in the Easy Steak Oven.
I know, it cooked steaks in like a minute. We had to use like literary devices in a presentation.
Interesting.
But you had to invent something. So I was like, oh, listen, I just got Photoshop from you at this point. So I was like, I'm going to create the Easy Steak Oven. And my partner actually skipped out on class that day.
No, really?
She was sick, quote unquote. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I was like, well, I guess I gotta make a good presentation.
Yeah, really.
Like, hey, Billy Mays here with a special new Easy Steak Oven. It was great. I got 100% of the votes at the end of the day.
That's great.
I felt great.
I think I probably mentioned it before on here, but my brother, when we used to play Guild Wars a lot back in the day, he was a healer named Hi Billy Mays here. And so he'd type in all caps in the chat box, try to sell people stuff. It was always really funny.
You got Brittany playing that game, didn't you?
We tried.
Because I know she went out and got it. Or maybe you got it for her. I just remember her coming home from college and trying to play that.
Yeah, so she tried to play with me, John, and Matt. Shout out to those guys. Goodbye. So, sorry. Paying attention to fighting.
That guy just walked through a body.
So, yeah, she did it, and your mom said she was being too loud. So, she stopped playing it basically right away.
Oh. Yeah. Going back to that, my mom makes a comment, that's it. You listen to Mother.
Yep, Mother knows best, man. Listen to your mumsy.
That's how I was with video games. She was like, you really have to talk so loud to your friends. I was like, hey, you don't have to drive me anywhere to my friend's house. It's like, I'm sorry. I'll keep it down. I'll go to my room. That was my biggest argument. I was like, listen, if you don't want me being loud, how about you just let me move all my video games to my room? Because we had them all plugged up to the living room.
Right.
And that's how I got my TV in my room.
Has this episode been 17 minutes? Oh God, we just kept talking.
Whatever.
Dan, I think we need to stop this episode.
Okay.
I think we could. Yeah, I think we'll talk about this some more later.
Okay.
Oh crap! I'm sorry, everybody.
Don't be sorry. It's extra content.
Yeah. Holy crap. All right. Goodbye.